Broadcasting to the world from South Jersey, this is Anything Goes with Phil Rossi and JJ Golick. A weekly podcast with different topics every week. The views and opinions on this show are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of any businesses or organizations mentioned during the show. And now, it's Anything Goes with Phil Rossi and JJ Golick.
Yo, what is going on? This is, of course, another episode of Anything Goes. My name is Phil Rossi alongside my partner, compadre, that is JJ Golick. What's up, JJ?
Sorry to interrupt you.
What's up?
I don't know. What's up? What you reading? Anything good?
Nah, just a couple personal messages on Facebook.
Ooh, sliding in those
It's
DMs.
Facebook Marketplace. Calm your titties.
What are we selling?
We're not selling anything. Relax.
Oh, what are we looking for?
Here's what we're looking for. Today, we're talking about the cryptocurrency Dogecoin.
Bless you.
Now, here's the thing.
What's that?
You don't know what Dogecoin is?
I mean, I know it's something, but like I get confused with all that shit because I gave it up after we learned about it in high school. I didn't really continue with it.
So
I should have.
So, Dogecoin is it's really, it started out as a joke, right? It started out as a joke,
Just like this podcast.
correct? It's still a joke. Now,
Wow, thanks.
Dogecoin. Now, I remember talking to our buddy Chaz about Doge probably about 6 months ago, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Bro, just download the Robinhood like stock app," and it was like this cryptocurrency, kind of like Bitcoin.
Right. Now, I'm not really too familiar with that either, so you may want to give a...
So if you look at Bitcoin, now Bitcoin's been out for years. If you look at Bitcoin today, it's literally worth $57,000 a share. So that means to buy one share of Bitcoin, you would have to pay $57,000.
Damn.
So let's just say, for example, 10 years ago, you bought into Bitcoin before anybody knew what Bitcoin was, and it was
Right. You were smart.
and it was 1 cent. You could put $200-$300 on it, get, say, 100,000 shares of Bitcoin, and today you would have, and now today it's 51, what did I say, 57?
$57,000.
So today you would have, say you had 100,000 shares of Bitcoin, you would have 100,000 times 57, you would have 100,000 times 57,000, which is millions.
Oh my
So-
God.
So then,
I wish.
so Chaz was telling me, he's like, Phil, my boys are looking at this Dogecoin. It's kind of like a joke. It's like this. It's literally a dog on a coin. And I was like, what is it? Like, it's basically a form of Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all these different cryptocurrencies are a form of payment currency.
Okay.
So instead of going to the store and using cash, if the place accepted cryptocurrency, you could bring in a Dogecoin or a Bitcoin, and that would be your form of payment. That's how you would pay for goods.
Wow.
So, obviously, at this point, the world hasn't really adapted cryptocurrency,
No.
right? So let's take
They're still trying to get Apple Pay and shit together. Come on now.
So, like,
We got another 20 years before this happens.
I do think it'll be a gradual process, and I don't know if it'll be like everybody's using it and it'll remove the dollar and all this other stuff. But let's just say, for example, like Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks and Shark Tank.
Is he still the owner?
Yeah, some of his like merchandise at the arena, he accepts Dogecoin. So if you have $3,000 in Dogecoin, you can use that to buy his merchandise at that place. I think Pornhub takes Dogecoin. So
you would know that.
So really, what's happened is at this point,
Have you used Dogecoin to pay for your subscription yet?
So let me no. So I don't have a subscription. You do, you bastard.
Nah, there's enough free shit out there.
Yeah, you're right. Why would I pay for that?
Right.
So months ago, I was like, let me just put $100 on Dogecoin. I felt it's kind of like gambling. Like if you lose 100, you lose 100. Big deal. It is what it is. And that was before it was even 1 penny. So a fraction of a penny. Today, Dogecoin currently is up to 30 cents. So I went from I have 8,000 shares of Dogecoin currently. And I invested $100. If I sold all my shares today, I would make $2,572.
Damn. So, what I'm hearing is I need to download this app.
Now, here's the thing. If you bought it today, you would be paying 30 cents a share.
Okay.
So
It's still not bad though. You're still under $1.
Right, now here's the thing. That's what we're hoping for. If Doge goes to $1, with me having 8,000 shares, I would make $8,000.
Exactly. So what I need to do is when we're done this show today, go get in on this and not tell anybody.
Right. So
even though I just broadcasted that.
So ideally.
Shit.
And here's the thing too. I mean,
whatever you do not do it before. Oh wait, I control when this airs.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Sorry.
Here he goes, cursing again for no reason. People just trying to get some Doge in their life, just trying to make some money.
Doge. Now listen, can we change like what kind of dog is on the coin?
No, you can't.
Damn.
You can't do that.
Deal breaker.
And here's the thing. It's really good to diversify if you want to kind of get into stocks. What I would do is like you can watch Twitch, you can watch a lot of different like YouTube channels. Like people will give you like, good ideas and kind of get you ahead of the game of where things might go. You can't look at it as a get rich quick scheme. You want to kind of put, if you have it, like I always look at it like this. If you have an extra $100, an extra $200, whatever you have extra.
So use all the unemployment money that they're,
whatever they're giving you, right? Like let's just say they gave you the $1,400 stimulus check and you were working or you're collecting unemployment and you're good and you don't need it and you're like, listen, I don't need this $1,400. I don't need it for bills or rent or food or kids.
No,
I can just use it and it doesn't really affect me. Yeah, then I would take it and kind of spread it around on the stock market and then put 50 here, 100 here. Look, and you also have to think when you're playing on the stock market, you're kind of looking at things that are not super popular now. Like let's take now you could have never predicted this, but a year and a half ago, if you put money on companies that produce face masks, you'd be a millionaire today.
Or a few years ago when Amazon was nothing.
Right, like
Jesus Christ.
If you were messing around with Amazon in the 90s.
Tesla.
And that's the thing. It doesn't, and a lot of times too, it doesn't have to be like a monster company that turns into like $1 billion company. It could be something small that, like,
Listen, if I could make $10,000 off $100,
yeah,
I would be happier in a pig and shit because I didn't do anything. I sat there.
Right, and I think a good rule of thumb is, only put money that you can afford to lose.
And if it's too good to be true,
and you
pull out.
Yeah, and you can't. I think it's more of a long game too. Like with Dogecoin too, you see it. Like I think right now I said it's at 32. I think over the weekend it was like at 45 cents. So the volatility is high. It can go really high. It can go really low. And that's because you have a lot of people that have never really messed with stocks before. So as soon as so think about it like this. I put $100 in. Now I could not panic, but be like, oh shit, there's $3,000 and I'm going to pull it all out and just take $3,000. Now that might not be a bad idea. You can make $3,000. You literally didn't do anything. You just invested $100. It's like hitting the slot machine.
You made 28,
and you made 20. You made 2,900 bucks. Yeah. Listen, maybe you're happy with that. What happens is though, when you have a lot of people and the volatility of something like this, where people don't really know if you can even use it, it's still kind of a joke, but it's worth billions of dollars now because you got so many people putting money into it. So now, like all these real investors are like, what do we do? Because it's kind of like the same thing that happened to GameStop. GameStop was not worth all the money that was into it, but all these little people, normal people got together and they were like $100, $1,000. All these people started putting millions of dollars into this one stock and makes the stock shoot up really high. So even though GameStop was not worth whatever it's at today, all these people put all this money into it. So now the stock's really high.
GameStop's worth all this, but I can't fucking find one.
Yeah, it's really it's really more like a pump and dump. So you pump up the stock, and then everybody dumps out and takes their money.
Well, it's funny because somebody said to me the other day, we were in Walmart picking something up, and we were in the electronics department, and the one guy said, one of these days, this is all going to be warehouse. Every Walmart is going to be a warehouse because you don't need it. People are going to get to the point where they don't care about window shopping anymore, and they're just going to do every single thing online. There's not going to be a thing as window shopping. You're going to order everything online, and that's going to be that.
Right. Yeah. No.
And we're headed that way. And he's right. I said, you're right, because a lot of things they don't carry in store. You can pick it up in the store because they're going to ship it from wherever to the store for you to pick up. But at that point, why don't I just have it delivered to my house? You know what I mean? Like, what is the point of shipping it to the store so I can walk in the store and pick it up? Like,
right.
Do you walk to the post office every day? No, you don't.
Yeah, and things are changing too, and it's a good rule of thumb with the stock market to kind of see, where society, where the world is going. I mean, I see even sometimes when I'm not working to make extra money, I'll do Grubhub, even Shipt. Shipt is basically people that don't want to go to Target, that will literally go online, pick out the items that they need, and then I'll get the order, go shop it for them, bring it to their house. So,
I just used that Instacart when I had COVID. Fortunately my parents took care of me, but Hillary's whole family had it, so they weren't as fortunate to be able to go and get things, and so I did an Instacart order because the first 2 weeks were no delivery fee.
Right.
And I did it, and it was pretty good. Like, I was able to get them some medicine, different things.
Yeah, you get all the stuff you need, and somebody brings it to you. It's good for the...
Drop it on the door. You give them a couple bucks as a tip, and that's it.
I mean, today, everything is on demand, ordering it, people drop it off at your house. And I think it's cool because something like the stock market for years has been basically controlled by certain people, these hedge fund managers that are making billions of dollars, and the little guy really had no shot. Now with certain apps like Robinhood and different places where you can kind of buy and sell stocks for the little guy, it's really changed the way people... It's given the little guy a fighting chance where before you had no shot. So according here to MarketWatch, today is officially Doge Day. It was a way to try to pump up the stock to $1. So it says here...
Now, are you seeing it currently? Is it still at 30 cents?
Yeah, so really, honestly, it depends as the day goes on. Like, I could check it right now, and it's down 23% today.
Okay, so that means I'm getting my ass in there.
It's right at 30%. So you want to buy in, obviously, on a day like where it's dropping.
And that's what people that go to try to buy a stock when it's up. Like, we learned some in high school. You don't want to do that.
No, and you honestly have to. You have to be a forward thinker, and you got to get with people and do your research and kind of try. I mean, you're never going to know exactly, but you got to try to get ahead of the game. Once it gets mainstream, and you hear Doge, like everybody's posting it on Facebook, you're probably late, right?
Right. So I'm very thankful for you right now.
No worries, no problem. So look at this.
Listen, so I'm going to wait to air this episode so that we can buy more. And
no, we want people to buy it because the more people that buy into it, the higher it's going to raise the price.
Right, but then you can throw another $50 or so in there and make even more money when it goes up.
You can get a couple more shares, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So listen to this. A $1,000 investment in Dogecoin at the start of the year would be worth over $68,000 today. Now, like I said, at the beginning of the year when I bought it, it was under 1 cent. Now, I only put $100 on it. If I would have put $1,000, I would have $68,000 today. Now, again... and this is why it's hard, because it's hindsight is always 20/20. Because me putting $100 at the time in this like fake, what the hell am I even doing? What does this mean? Like, I don't even know where I could use this. Like, it makes no sense. It was like I'm kind of throwing $100 away. Now I see that I have $2,500, $3,000 in cash out today. It seems like a great idea. But again, imagine me being like, JJ, give me $1,000. We're gonna put it on this coin with a dog on it. That's kind of like a fake, half-ass kind of. We don't even know what it is. You'd be like, I'm not going to give you... you know what I could do with $1,000?
Yeah.
So it's always easy for people to go back in hindsight and be like, oh, wow, I could have put $1,000 and I would have had 70.
But I could have done this. I could have done this. I could have done that.
The reality is you probably would not have done it at the time before it was worth $68,000. That's the difference, I think, the mindset,
You wouldn't go buy a share of Apple right now.
It wouldn't be worth it. I mean, unless you just had a lot of money, because even if I don't know
if
how
you have
much
that kind of money, you can already do whatever the hell you want.
You want to you want to try to get in on a company or something that nobody's paying attention to, that you can
get in on our podcast. Nobody's paying attention to it.
Yeah, it sucks. It's absolutely terrible. So nobody's. Yeah, right. Like today, this podcast is worth $0. So
10 years from now, this is going to be gold.
Yeah, I mean, it probably won't, but I mean, if we want to sell like that, we can drive up the stock.
Oh, yeah.
So let's look at Apple. So Apple's only worth $132 a share. So,
but it goes up and down constantly.
Right, it goes up and down, and that's what I mean. That's only for one share. So I have 8,000 shares of Doge. 8,000 shares, because I bought it, it's so cheap.
Right.
That's the thing. So, again, like once the stock goes up, it's hard. Like, like you said, even like a 30 cent, you could still buy in, put a couple $100 on it, and still do well. Because let's just say you put $300 on Doge at 27 cents later tonight if it goes down. If Doge went to $1, $5, $10 a share, you would make thousands of dollars on that.
Exactly.
Because you might have 3,500 shares.
But if it goes up to say $5, $10,
oh yeah,
and all of a sudden, all right, let's just say it hits 10, and now we're at 8 and 7 and 6, you might want to pull out.
Well, I always, just my opinion. I don't know that much. This is kind of like my first foray into this. I always said to myself, if it reaches $1 or $2 or $3, maybe I sell half of it, leave half in.
That's not a bad idea.
Or go 60-40. Like, have some sort of idea, because here's the thing. I don't want to kick myself later. I don't want to, let's say it goes to $1 and I'm like, oh shit, there's $8,000. Now it's tempting to be like, oh, I'm good. Let me just take my 8,000. But then I also think about if
it could climb.
It could, yeah. I mean, that's only at $1. Like, say you take it all out and you lose all 8,000 shares, and in say a year and a half, it goes to $25 a share, and you pulled everything out at $1, you're leaving literally hundreds of $1,000s on the table. Now, it might not, like, technically, this could be on an absolute decline and never go past 30 cents. But I look at it like this: the thing I lost is $100.
Right. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that's the biggest negative, is I lost $100. So I'm willing to let it ride.
It could fall out of your pocket.
All right, like $100. Okay, $100. Now, it also works the other way. Like, if you invest $1,000 or $2,000, it hurts a lot more. I think you're a little bit more.
What the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah, and there's some people that have a lot of money. I mean, Elon Musk with Tesla, he loves Dogecoin. He's always tweeting about it. He's always pumping it up. He always. Like, Elon Musk is a weird dude, but he's done a lot for Dogecoin, because he's like, listen, it's the cryptocurrency of the future. Doge to the moon. He's constantly posting out different memes about it. And it's become, at this point, it's still like a weird kind of fake, what is it? But now a lot of people are jumping on it. And the more people that buy in, it becomes a reality. And you're really pissing off the big billionaire hedge fund managers and all these experts in stocks. Because they're like, you got all these people driving up a coin with a dog on it. Like, and it pisses them off. And the reason I like it is because it's fair. Nobody's cheating.
Can get in.
It's my money. It's all of our money. We're all going into it, and the masses decide what's happening. Not 10 hedge fund billionaires who say, no, you can't do that. You can only play by our rules. And if you play by their rules, we don't have nearly as much money as them, so they control it. They don't like it now because everybody's saying, they're basically, it's a middle finger to the system. We don't need you. We're all in this together, and there's a lot more of us than there are of you. You may have your billions, but we have billions of people all on the same team, and we're going to drive this up. And to me, there's something cool about that David versus Goliath kind of attitude, which is, you may have the money, but we have the people. And because we have so many people, you really don't stand a chance. And to me, that kind of gets me, that gets me pumped up.
Every time, right?
So.
Listen, you are the people, and you're ready to fight.
Round 1. Fight.
I would also say that if you, even for you, like $100, whatever you got, $150, just because
who knows what could happen? We could wake up tomorrow and it's up to $2. We don't know.
It could be. I mean, I think it was this past weekend, it was almost at 50 cents.
Oh my God.
Now, and that's the thing. Like, the volatility is high. I mean, it has really high highs and really low lows. But for a while, I would say, and me and Chaz kind of would text back and forth about this all the time. It was hovering 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents. It was only like I had $200 in there, $300. I'm like, oh, $300 is better than $100. And now I look at it and it's $2,500, $3,000, and I'm like, wow, that's great. And then when I see it go up to $4,700, I'm like, wow. And now it's back to 25, and now I think 25 looks low.
Right.
So you're constantly on this like up and down swing.
You got to watch the trend too of what's going on with it.
Yeah, usually weekends. In my experience, it spikes on weekends. It might go down on a Monday. Like the weekend, for some reason.
Because nobody wants to spend money on a Monday. They already went out last weekend, partied, drank, whatever the hell they did, and woke up this morning and went, oh my God, what the fuck did I do?
And then
my bank account looks like.
And then you also have people that, like I said before, say they got in at 1 cent, under 1 cent, 2 cents, and they put $1,000 in, and they see all that money. They might be like, listen, I have $20,000 in credit card debt. I made 30,000 with this random Doge. They pull their money out, and then that's going to drop the stock a little bit. So, and then you have the big investors is what really matters. Like, I'm sure you have people putting in $100K, $500,000 into it, which is really shooting the price up. And then it's all the little people like us that $100, $200, $1,000, $1,500. Oh, let me throw in another 50. So again, it might not seem like a lot, but if you have $100 to $200, $300 and you have a couple million people putting that much in, that's going to really continue to drive the price up. So,
that's what we're looking for, baby. That's
yeah,
what we're looking for.
And it's good to, and it's I think it's good.
It's kind of like a game.
It is. I mean, it's definitely gambling. The only thing I would caution against is becoming obsessed with it. Where, I mean, you have people that day trade. That's all they do. They buy, they sell, they move here, they get.
I don't like losing money. Like you said, if it's $100, $200, you had it extra. Like in my case, if it's the stimulus check or something like that, where you didn't work for it.
Right.
It was kind of just handed to, or birthday money.
Right.
Something like that. And, you didn't really lose it. It was given to you. You know
Right.
what I mean? You didn't work hard for it. But if you work hard and you put in $1,000 and you just lost it, I don't like that. I didn't like going down the casino, playing $100 and losing it. I was like, why did I just do that?
Well, that's what I always say. If it's money that is just extra for you, or again, you can. It's the same thing going to the casino. If you go to the casino and say, listen, I have $100, we would have spent this whether we went to a concert and had food, or if we come down here, if we lose it, we lose it.
See, I'm fat. I'd rather eat.
Correct.
So.
But like I said, if it's something that's not going to hurt you, and you're okay with spending it or losing it, and you could only, even the casino, like, I always go with the mindset that I'm going to lose it all here. And then if I win or I break even or I make $100, $200, $300, I'm like, wow, that was great.
I think what got me is when I went down there and I played it and I had the beginner's luck and, hit all these jackpots, was doing great.
Right.
And I said, let's keep going. I'm having fun. And then I lost it all. And I was like, the walk of shame back to the hotel room. Like,
How much did you lose?
it was only $100.
Okay.
I only put, and that, like you said, I went down with it. When it's gone, it's gone. But I doubled my money. I think at one point I tripled it, and I lost it all because I kept playing.
Right.
Instead of walking away like I was going to do, I'm having fun. And then the competitiveness, it kind of kicked in. Oh. Phil's watching videos over there.
On Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
I'm trying to give us the heads up on how we can do this. But
again, I'm not airing this episode until I buy my shares.
and here's the thing.
So
I never, I was kind of like you, especially in my 20s, where I was like, stocks, they just seem confusing. I don't understand the tickers and the green arrow up and the
I used to be really into it when we were doing it in our high school finance class, because our teacher was really into it. He had a lot of investments in it, and he was very knowledgeable, and I was really into it, but I didn't have the money at the time, so I kind of lost the interest once the class was over.
Yeah,
because I had no money to put into it.
And even if you don't, that's the thing. When you're young, you don't have the money, and you think you need a lot, but you don't. Now, even according to this article here from Fox Business, Dogecoin started as a joke way back in 2013, and it's based on a popular meme. But last week, investors saw its value skyrocket 500%. Bitcoin's value, now this is Bitcoin, different than Dogecoin, was at $55,000 as of Tuesday, while Dogecoin was listed at about 38 cents compared. Okay, so, but Dogecoin's value was still up 390% over the past week, which, again, you think about it, it's a joke started in 2013.
Is now making money in the stock
and
market.
now it's worth billions of dollars.
And you see, I
So-
was seeing stuff about this Dogecoin, but I didn't really pay attention to it because I was like, what?
Yeah.
But you look at it and it's like,
Yeah, and people, and again, I don't think it's not like.
oh, I have seen this. I knew I saw it before. Yeah.
Yeah, again, it was a joke. Everybody started to buy it in. The numbers started going up, and then the real investors like, hey, what's going on over here? Like, what are these people doing with this? What does this mean? Like, what? And I think,
Do we get in on it? Do we not? Like,
yeah, that's the thing. They're cautioning, and you see so many of these headlines from these experts and the media, which is like, it's a joke, and
but
don't
what
buy
makes
into
them an
it.
expert? Because they have money up? Because they have the money to
Because they have
control?
money, because they've been doing it, and that's the thing. Like, again,
Maybe they're giving you wrong advice, idiot.
Yeah, I mean, they could be. They could just be. They can be trying to caution against it because they don't want it to get higher. Or maybe, I don't know. Like,
Or they want to wait so they can get in on it.
right.
and take it over.
Well, I mean, like they could. I mean, because basically, I mean, if they wanted to, they could say like, "Oh, let me put $1 billion on this Dogecoin," and they would get, even at 30 cents, they would get thousands upon thousands of shares. Now, listen, it could be a joke. Everybody could, lose the little bit of money that they have or whatever, or it could go the other way. People can continue to buy it up, and everybody makes a couple grand off of it.
I think if you do the marketing the right way, especially with the guy from Tesla being a big advocate for it, and Mark Cuban, and I think it's going to go up. Yeah, I think that we're going to be able to really look at it within months. I'm going to give it, another 6 months or so. When you look, we'll look at it and go, all right, should I pull out? Should I put more in? Should I?
And it wasn't really honestly supposed to get, this high in price, this much, like this soon. It was really supposed to take months. Maybe by the end of the year, they were saying it might reach $1. I mean, and it still could. And again, I just look at it like this: to put it in layman's terms, to make it as simple as possible. At least take a look at it, do your due diligence, do some research, not just on Dogecoin, but just on the stock market and different things that you see that in the next couple of years could be, spiking, where you can make a little bit of money. If you have even a little bit, $100, $50 of income that you're like, I could take it or leave it, and I know, especially today things are tough. Put it a little bit and kind of mess around with it just to see. And who knows, you could strike gold with a Dogecoin or something. Or again, let's just think about it. I put $100 in. If I walked away with $3,000 or $4,000, that's fantastic.
You made money. So as long as you make money, I guess in the end, it's like,
yeah, and like
I'm happy.
And like I said, the biggest negative is you lose $50 or $100, and it's not the worst thing that could happen to take a shot to make a couple. I mean, again, even a couple $100. If you put 100 in, you got 500. You made $400.
I don't even have to sit down at the casino for this. I can just do it right from my phone.
Right. I mean, so, and again, with the power of social media and Reddit and Twitter and all this other stuff, communities can grow pretty fast. And that's the cool thing today. Again, this could not happen in the 80s, could not happen in the 90s, could not happen in the early 2000s. But with today's, social media and the way people are connected all around the world, it can happen fast. And I think there's something cool about that. So I say, do your due diligence. JJ, later get some Doge.
And you know what
and then we'll be on the same team. And then every week we can update and talk about what's going on with the Dogecoin.
Hey, we could even do another segment where you and I just pop on Zoom during the week.
Yeah, just
real quick and just 5-10 minutes. Yo, this is what's going on. And I think that would be fun.
And I have a couple of friends and a couple of people that. And the weird thing is, like, the more you'll be surprised. Like, say you buy into it later, you can drop $100 or whatever. The more you'll mention it. Like, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I saw them open up the Robinhood app on their phone, and I'm like, "Are you messing around with Doge?" And they're like, "Bro, you have Doge too?" So then, like, it's weird. You'll have people that don't openly talk about it. Like, maybe they just think, like, maybe I'm the only one doing this, or
right.
But now you have like friends, family members are like, "Oh yeah, I got how many shares? Oh man, I got this many. Oh, I put $100 and I got 3." So you'll have all these people, and it becomes like this really cool community. And then
it's a little nerd village.
Yeah, and then other people are like, "Wait, what are you guys talking about?" I'm like, "Bro, you don't know about Dogecoin?" And then they get in on it, and then and now it's like, and the cool thing is, the more the merrier. Come on board, let's drive it up. Let's all get some money, and then we're good.
So we got to build the Doge community. We also got to build ours.
Correct.
At Anything Goes PJ and anythinggoespj.com.
All right, thanks for listening, and next week we'll catch you with another episode, and of course a Doge update.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Peace.
This is Anything Goes with Phil Rossi and JJ Golick.